Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure, Boomer and I are out on a Jeep camping overland style trip with a little bit of a twist. So we do have the Jeep and the awning. However, you guys will notice on the Jeep build there is no sleeping compartment or rooftop tent. So we did bring a lightweight hiking tent paired with a camp cot. Got the awning pitched on that. The awning pitched here as well because it is very windy, gray, and there is rain in the forecast. And we're directly on the edge of a lake. So now that everything is basically set up, let's get started on a hot coffee. All right, guys, now that coffee is on and the afternoon is also getting on, we're getting later into the evening now. I did go ahead and get a few things cleaned up. I also got my chair set up, patiently waiting on this weather to roll in. Like I mentioned earlier, it is supposed to rain. It's been raining the last 2 or 3 days, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually get rain again this evening now that I'm properly set up and actually out here able to camp. So I've got my chair set up, like I just mentioned. I'm also going to be getting a table set up. I think I'm going to place it on this side of the Jeep closest to the wheel, and then later on, if it does start to rain, I can sit down here with the table, eat my dinner, and stay nice and dry. I do also have a portable fire pit that I'm going to be setting up off to the side, and I did actually bring firewood with me because I'm in an area where there's really not a whole lot of firewood around. So there is one dead tree over here and a couple of burned pieces over here from the last people that were here camping. It is a well-known spot. People come here and fish, and it's nice to just kind of leave whatever trees are available. Basically, I'm looking off in the distance here. There's 1 or 2, 3 trees. It's nice to just leave those alone because these places get picked over a lot because they're regular use spots. So I brought my own wood today. Gonna load up the portable fire pit with that later on this evening. Light a little small fire off to the side, enjoy some ambience with this beautiful lakefront view. So for now, like I said, I do have my coffee situated right here. The sun is poking out, oddly enough, between these clouds. Kind of sunny and cloudy at the same time, so who knows what's going to happen. But I'm going to wrap up this coffee, get that table set up, and take the day from there, guys. So cheers, take a little bit of a break. All right, everybody, now that I've got the table and everything else set up, including the fire pit, I do have a load of firewood inside of the Jeep, but I think I'm actually going to process some of the stuff left behind here from the previous campers because there is quite a bit of it, and then I'll use what I have in the Jeep. But if it does rain, that stuff will stay dry. I'll try and use some of this stuff out here if I can find pieces that are still dry from yesterday's rain. So with this table set up, I'll be able to do my main eating and food prep and stuff here. I've also got the tailgate table that I can utilize, which is always comfortable using at a standing height for me, especially underneath of the awning. But before I go ahead and get all of that stuff situated, I might as well explain to you guys what I've got for a refrigerator and how I'm powering that, because that is new for this Jeep build. So I'll bring you guys around back, give you a little look at that, a little bit of information there, and then I think we are going to start on supper. So let's go have a look. All right, so coming over to the back of the Jeep area, this is a two-door Jeep, obviously, so there's not a ton of room. And I do still have the back seats in, they're just folded up. If I were to actually remove the entire bench seat, there would be way more room, but I do bring my son out with us and my wife. So having the back seat is definitely needed. So I'm not gonna be taking that out. And we also have 2 trucks and a van and many other vehicles to do different setups with. So This Jeep is going to basically stay like this on the interior. The exterior has already changed drastically. If you guys remember what it looked like the first time you saw it, in comparison to now, there is a load of accessories on this Jeep. So, talking about the refrigerator, the fridge is here. It is not secured to the ground. I can pick it up and move it out freely if I wish, which is great because we also use this refrigerator in our van build, right up between the two front seats, and it fits perfectly there. It also works as a nice little table in the van. So I've got it plugged in right now to the Jackery. This is the Jackery Explorer 2000 Pro. Right now, it is at 95%. Now I left home today at 100%, and it has only gone down 5%, and it's rather warm out today. It's probably about 10 to 12 degrees. Inside of the Jeep, where it does have a black top, even though the back door is open, I was driving with the windows up today, so it did get quite warm in here. And I've got this set down to 2 degrees Celsius right now, and it's only drawn 95 or 5%. So we're still at 95, so probably about 10 to 12 hours that this has been plugged in. 5% at 2%, or 2 degrees Celsius, sorry. All over the place right now. So I'm going to give you guys a close-up look at this. You can have a look at the battery, the refrigerator, and just a little bit of information before we start cooking, because I know a lot of people are going to be asking about refrigerator, freezer combo, I should mention that, and the battery unit as summer is quickly approaching. So let's have a quick look at this stuff. All right, everybody, here's the Jackery Explorer 2000 Pro. You guys will notice the LCD readout. The output is 0 and the battery life is 95%. We're running that through the DC 12 volt 10 amp plug. The reason why the output is 0 right now is because the refrigerator has already reached the temperature that I set it to, which was 2 degrees. So it will not kick on until the temperature changes. So touching on the Jackery, looking at the size of the Explorer 2000 Pro, which is a rather large battery, you guys can get an idea of how large this refrigerator is. This fridge is from Vivor. I do not recall the actual size of it. Just the Jackery in comparison, I'm not a review channel, so it's a refrigerator. It works really, really well. Like I said, I've got it set to 2 degrees Celsius. It is on max right now, pulling 12.8 volts of power. When it does kick in, it is great because it opens front-wise. It's got an LCD light in there. It has a back compartment separate from the front. The front does have a basket. I don't want to lift it out because all my food's going to fall through the holes of the basket, but we do actually have a little bit of frost in there. Really nice weather seal. Got a chain so the door won't fly open. So I've got all my produce stored in the back compartment, and then all my containers and food like that in this basket, so I can just lift the basket out in one piece, grab what I need, and carry on from there. So now that this has been open for a moment, that battery should start reading an output, because this refrigerator should kick on the compressor now that we're letting some warm air in there. So we'll see what the readout is once it kicks on. Alright, so dropping the temperature down to -3, forcing the refrigerator to kick on its compressor. That gives us a readout of 30 to 36 watts is what it's floating at right now. This is on high, so it is pulling the max draw that it can to cool down quickly. So there it is at 37 watts, a peak 34 watts. So it's fluctuating in that range with an estimated runtime of 64.4 hours. Down to 56.4 hours, and this only kicks on when it needs to. So I'm not going to be running it at -3. I'll bump it back up to +2 degrees because I do have meat in here. But that's a good test right there, just to give you guys an idea of how long this would run for. 56 hours when it does kick on, and it only drew 5% of battery life in about 12 hours. So this is definitely going to be handy this summer, and I'm very happy to have this setup fit in the back of the Jeep. So just want to touch on that because I know I'm going to get asked what combination am I running, and that is all I'm going to talk about. Let's carry on with cooking.